Okay, so picture this. There's like a hidden switch in your brain, and someone can flip it without you even knowing, totally hijacking your ability to think straight, especially right after you thought you were in the clear. It's wild, right? Well, this is a real thing called the fear-then-relief effect, and we're going to get right into how it works.
I mean, really think about it. Have you ever had one of those moments? You almost get into a fender bender, but you don't. Phew. Or maybe your boss says a project looks way better than you thought it would. In that kind of warm, fuzzy afterglow of relief, did you suddenly find yourself saying yes to things you'd normally think twice about? If that sounds familiar, well, you've been right in the middle of this.
Yeah, that feeling? It's not just some random quirk. It's actually a predictable pattern in our brains. And believe me, it's something that can be used against you. So here it is, the official breakdown, the fear-then-relief effect. Basically, your brain gets hit with some kind of threat. Then, poof, it's gone. And in that moment, that wave of, oh, thank goodness, your defenses just completely crumble. It's like your brain's security system goes on a coffee break, and you become way more likely to just agree to stuff, no questions asked.
And hey, this isn't just some theory I pulled off the internet. It's got real science behind it. It was first properly identified back in 1998 by a couple of researchers, Dariusz Doliński and Richard Nawrat. They're the ones who really put this whole sequence, the fear, the relief, and then the compliance, under the microscope.
Okay, so what is actually going on in our heads at that moment, right? Why does that feeling of, phew, I'm safe, suddenly turn us into yes men? Well, it all comes down to a really specific process that kicks off in the brain.
They call it the mindless moment, and it's a pretty wild four-step process. First, something scares you. Then, just as fast, that threat disappears. But here's the catch. That big sigh of relief you feel, it actually short-circuits your brain. Your vigilance drops off a cliff. And for a second, your logical, analytical brain just checks out. It goes on autopilot, defaulting to these automatic, don't think too hard responses.
And that's the whole game right there, that little window of time where your mind is just less guarded. It's a tiny gap in your armor. You're not really thinking critically, you're just feeling good, and that's when you're at your most vulnerable.
All right, so this isn't just some fun psychological fact. This stuff gets used in the real world, especially in high-stakes situations. And a perfect example? A negotiation.
Think about it. Normally, when you're negotiating, your brain is like a fortress, right? You're vigilant, you're analytical, your guard is way up. But in that post-relief state, it's the total opposite. The drawbridge is down. You're less guarded, you're running on automatic, and you're just way more compliant. You're less likely to put up a fight against things your normal brain would have screamed no at.
So here's a classic move. A negotiator makes it seem like the whole deal is about to fall apart. You're sitting there, your stomach is in knots, you're thinking, oh no, this is all for nothing. Then, just when you're about to give up, they come back and say, wait, I think I found a way to save it. The relief that washes over you is huge, and bam, right then, they ask for a small concession. And you're so happy the deal's not dead, you just go, sure, whatever, fine, without even thinking. And again, this isn't just a story. The original 1998 experiment proved it with numbers. They found a huge spike in compliance. The people who went through that little fear-then-relief roller coaster, they were way, way more likely to say yes to a request compared to people who didn't experience it. It's a measurable, repeatable thing.
So, okay, why should you care about any of this? Because it happens to us all the time in all sorts of situations. It's a powerful reminder that timing is everything when it comes to persuasion. Our emotions are basically driving the bus on our decisions, whether we like it or not. And honestly, just knowing that this glitch exists is your best defense against it. It explains so much about why we make those impulsive choices right after a close call.
Really, the most important thing to take away from all this is that understanding this effect, it's like giving yourself a shield. It's not about learning a new trick to manipulate people. It's about protecting yourself. So next time you feel that huge wave of relief after a scary moment, just pause, take a beat, and ask yourself, okay, is my thinking brain back in charge yet, or am I still running on fumes? So, now that you know the secret, here's my question for you. Where are you going to see this next? Maybe in a car dealership, a sales pitch, a news headline. Seriously, keep your eyes peeled, because once you know what to look for, that little dance of fear, then relief, I guarantee you're going to start seeing it absolutely everywhere.